Okay. Hi, Casper. Hey, thank you guys for coming in. Okay. Is my guest put up in the box so we can get this started? Oh, we might. Hi, Jamila Joy. How are you? All right. All right. All right. Good evening. Welcome. Welcome. Welcome to Adult Talk, Season 5, Episode 2. I'm your host, Most Sexy to You. Here, where anything goes, I'm creating dialogue to bridge the communicational gap between men and women here every Wednesday at 10 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Hey, tonight I have these amazing guests that are lined up here for you guys, and I'm gonna welcome them up in the box. Hi, how you doing?
Awesome. How are you?
I'm great. Hi, how you doing? So in royalty. Good evening, ladies. Thank you for coming. Hi y'all. So could you please give our viewers a little bit about yourself? Could you tell them where are you from and what brought you to tag? I'm going to start with you, Miss Divine.
Where am I from? I live in the Midwest. That's Sunflower State. If you don't know where it is, then you better look it up. That's why I'm that Sunflower girl. I've been on tag for forever, like forever, ever. Um,
Okay.
and a friend of mine was like, "Hey, let's check out Tag," and that was way back before live streaming and all that kind of good stuff. So I've been here for a long time. I was
Hi,
extremely
Sam.
shy, so I never really did much, but I'm here now, and yeah, I have my featured show on Saturdays.
Oh, okay. That is, what is that show called?
My show is called Divine Living. It's a
Divine Living.
personal growth and wellness show that talks about being well. Um, and I also have on my show a special segment called The Art of Sound. And through the Art of Sound, um, I have guests that just kind of talk about, or they actually do their art form. So that can be anything that we hear to express what being well is through their art form.
Okay. All right. Thank you. Miss Sewing Royalty, how are you?
I am blessed by the best, blessed by the best. Uh,
Amen.
well, I
Could
tell,
you could you tell
huh?
our viewers a little bit about yourself, where you from and what brought you to tag?
Well, I'm from the east side of the internet. That's what I tell them. They have to
East
check me
side of
out.
the internet. I like that.
I what brought me to tag. I was trying to get my groove back. I just got over a divorce, and I was trying to find something, but I didn't find nothing. I found the feature show, so it
Okay.
worked out. It worked out.
Okay. Okay.
My feature show was also on Saturdays at 6 o'clock. Roaches Hip Hop Playground.
Okay. Well, thank you. So we're gonna start with the question of the week, and I'm gonna ask you first, Miss Divine. The question of the week is: what qualities do you value most in a partner, and which do you value least?
Oh, so value most, I would say patience because I can be all over the place. So to deal with me, you gotta be a little patient. The least is probably arrogance.
Arrogance. Okay. Patience. So patience, yes, good answer. Okay, so Miss Sewing, same question.
Don't do that.
I value the most in this partner. I value spirituality. I
Yeah.
value spirituality.
You say you
Um,
value what?
spirituality. Because
Okay.
when you love the Lord, a lot of stuff comes behind. Other things come behind it.
Amen.
When you got a certain respect for yourself. And what was the second part of the question?
What do you value least?
What I value least? Um, untruth, lies, a liar. Untruth.
Hmm. Okay, that's a good answer. So, welcome to Adult Talk. If you guys just now tuning in, I'm your host, Most Sexy to You, and I have my special guests here, Miss Divine and Sewing Royalty. Um, if you guys are in the comments and you hear the questions, you guys can chime in. You answer the questions. You're more than welcome. My next question to you, Ms. Divine, in your lifetime, what terrified you, but you went ahead and did it anyway?
Mm, terrified me. Like I really didn't have a choice once it became what it was, but it was actually scary being a parent.
Mm,
Um, and I really didn't have a choice but to do or not to do. Like if I didn't do it, then somebody else would have to take care of her. But I think that was like the scariest thing to be a teen mom and just embrace that experience. Yeah.
mhm. So, how old were you?
I was actually 19 when I
Oh,
had my daughter. Like barely 19 when I had her. Um, so
okay.
um, yeah.
So, my first child, I had her when I was 22, and I just felt like I had to do whatever it took. So, yeah, I get that.
Yeah.
Miss
I
Sewing,
didn't really feel like that. I'm sorry. I'm
go
sorry. I
ahead.
didn't really feel like that. Like I was lost. I mean, I was a kid. I was in high
Hmm.
school initially and then trying to go to college. I had none. I was a kid, raising a kid. That was
Hmm.
scary. I was a kid.
Right.
So anyways,
I could
I'll
have
get
been
off of
that
that.
person. Look, I could have been that person, but thank you, King. Miss Sewing, same question. If in your lifetime, what terrified you, but you went ahead and did it anyway?
Moving from up north to North Carolina.
Okay.
That terrified me, but I did it anyway. Moving from your life, your people, everything I already knew, all my family by myself. I ain't
No.
know nobody, but I was, want to do something different. But
You want,
moving from, yeah,
and so, did like when you did it, was it by yourself or you had people helping you? Like,
just me and the little car. No matter of fact, I wasn't even in the car. I caught the train, and I
oh,
had bags, so it was just me. I was ready to go.
oh, I heard that. Okay, so
When you want to do something, you're gonna do it. It was just me.
so I didn't even have the choice. I was told that we were going to be visiting for a couple of weeks, and then I ended up out there for 5 years.
Wow.
And that's because my auntie tricked me. Okay. Wow. So, in your experience while there, was it like scary for you to go out? Did you make like sudden movements, or was it already a place out there for you to go when you got there?
No, see, my mother was out here. She had me. My mother had me when she was young. But
Thank you, Milana.
let that go by. Um, all right, man. Yeah, my mother had me when she was young, so when she was 17, but being close in age, I came moving with her. We didn't get along that well, but I stayed with her until I found my apartment, whatever. My allergies killing me today. I stayed with her outside my apartment, and it was hard because I had no job and all that and everything. But at the time, Philly wasn't a good place to be at the time for me. So it was either struggle a little bit and go through it with mom, or be in some place that I shouldn't be at the time. But it was hard because I didn't have a job, I wasn't working and everything, but I had money when I came here. So with that money, I wind up getting an apartment and
Okay.
everything. It took some time. It took some time.
Do you think that was the best decision for you?
Oh,
Or
it was the best decision I ever made in my life. It was
okay.
scary, but it was the best decision I've made in my life. I wouldn't be doing the things I'm doing now. I wouldn't
Hmm.
be doing the things I'm doing now. I'd have been too distracted with other stuff.
Okay.
Yeah.
Um, Miss Divine, whose responsibility is it to handle your trauma?
Oh, mine. But
Hmm.
that
Your
that's
trauma.
hard.
It was-
It's. I mean, are you saying like the trauma that I've been through? Whose
Yes. Whose
responsibility is that?
responsibility
I mean,
for the
it,
trauma?
it
Yeah. Go ahead.
yeah, it's definitely
yeah.
a personal decision, but to do that takes a lot of strength.
Hmm.
Um, I recently wrote a poem that talks about how the triggers of our trauma could win if we don't pay attention and do what we need to do in order to get through those things. So
Hmm.
it's our own personal choice. It's not anyone else's. No one can make you be anything or make you act a certain way. We have to understand that too. Even though
Right.
people can constantly push those things at you, it's still our choice to act or react to those buttons that they push. So,
Hmm.
Yeah.
yeah.
I hear you on that.
Thank you.
Um, so in royalty, whose responsibility is it to handle your trauma?
I feel like it's my responsibility.
Right.
Me and God, because the people that cause the trauma, they fine. It's
Right.
one thing you heard what T.D. Jakes said a long time ago. You worried about somebody that did something to you 30 years ago, and they fine. They going on with their life, and you sitting here crying,
Heartbroken.
boo hooing. You can't do nothing. You can't work. You can't do this, and you depressed. And they looking at you like, what's wrong with that? What's wrong with us?
Right.
So I feel like if you want to move, be in your life, you want to live, it's your choice if you want to dwell on something and keep it in your mind and make yourself depressed and keep crying about it, or you're gonna keep pushing and move on.
Hmm.
You know.
I feel you on that. Okay. If you guys just now tuning in, welcome to Adult Talk. I'm your host, Well Sexy to You. We're here tonight with my two amazing guests, Miss Divine and Miss Sewing Royalty. And if you guys are in the comments and you have anything you would like to add on to the questions, you're more than welcome to do so. Uh-oh. Okay. So my next question, Miss Divine, is it appropriate to stay the night over in ex's house to spend more time with the kids?
I've never experienced that in my life. Um, I'm trying to think if I know of a situation where that was okay. I don't. I think people just make that excuse for it to be comfortable to be in the presence of the ex. I don't think that
Mm,
that's appropriate. I don't
yeah,
think
I
it's
don't think so
appropriate.
either. It happened to me a long time ago where it was like they co-parenting. I don't know, no co-parenting like that. You can co-parent right over here. What do you need to be spending the night over there for? Because you're doing way too much. Yes, so I don't agree with it either. What about you guys in the comments? Is it appropriate to stay the night over at an ex's house to spend more time with the kids? I didn't think so. Heck no. Okay.
Nah.
Okay. Welcome back. Welcome back.
She's not back yet. She's spinning. Come on, Sowen. Come on, Sowen.
Come through now. Come through.
There
we go.
Man, I can't see myself, but hey, I'm sorry, my eyes is killing me today.
Okay. So the question is it appropriate to stay the night over in ex's house to spend more time with the kids?
Well, I'm gonna say from my point of view with my ex, if his baby mama came to my house, spend some time, stay the night, no, she can go with you. You don't need to stay here, man. You need to stay here.
If they go to the ex, they don't need to stay with you, or
they don't need to stay they don't need to stay she don't need to stay at our house. The baby can go with her. No. They need to find somewhere to go.
Right.
You're not doing that. No.
Okay, because see, I know that
I already had words before all that. You never know. And now, you want to stay the night in my house. No.
So what if it was him who was trying to go over to the her house and spend time with the kids instead of them coming to where you at? How you deal with that?
He don't need to stay the night. Stay the night. If the kid's sick, if they in what's wrong? We all stay the night. I'm going too.
Right.
That's your bad.
Okay.
I gotta go spend time with the kid too.
Okay, because I can't do it. So I'm like, it's suspect. It's suspect.
It really is. There's a lot of hours in a day.
Mm-hmm. Why is it that you need to spend the night to be spending time with your kids? Because you're doing other than spending time with the kids.
That part. It's suspect.
You think it's suspect? I think so too.
Right.
Make sure the kids and the mama okay. No, that's not what we're doing. She got somebody else to make sure she okay.
we got FaceTime these days. FaceTime. And I'm sitting in the back looking like, what y'all talking about?
What y'all talking about? Okay, like
better be the kids. But you shouldn't have to even feel like that. Like if I even have to feel like I gotta look behind your back while you talking to your baby mama, it's a problem. It's been a problem.
Mm-hmm.
Hi. Okay.
You give me that spirit in me.
Hi, guys. So, Ms. Divine, do you believe friendship breakups can be harder than romantic breakups?
Definitely.
How so?
I had a breakup with a good friend last year around this time, and it was really hard because I had known her and had been through lots of different things. Like that was my road dog, When it was fun, we was together. When it was bad, we were together. And then that bad became almost detrimental for me. She left me in a really bad place, extremely vulnerable all by myself. And I could no longer trust that relationship. So it took a lot to get over that because, we were together for work, for fun, for, exploring new things. It took a lot. It took a lot, When you think about like romantic relationships, it's like, oh, okay, I can cut that off, And even though it may take time, I don't think anything has. I've never really broken up with a friend, except for her. So I don't want to experience that, like a real friendship. Somebody that I done slept at your house, you done slept at my house. I'm at your feet crying with you. You know, like I was in some really like vulnerable places with her, and yep, that was hard. That was real hard for me, but I did it. The process was easy. As far as breaking up with her, is like I just stopped immediately. Just stopped. I'm not calling you. I'm not texting you. She called me. I ain't answering. I just stopped because I knew that I couldn't go back into that situation. Like, no, you left me out to die. That's how I felt, you know? And I had to care more about me than anything. So, yeah.
That part. Okay. I can understand. Sowing royalty. Do you believe friendship breakups can be harder than romantic breakups?
I would say yes and no.
Yes and no. Okay. How so?
Because I can block a chick, and I was about to cuss. See, I can block. Listen, one thing I'm not doing no negativity. I ain't doing you messing up my spirit. If I don't, you making me look bad. Oh, I'm not doing none of that. I'm too old. Okay, so my block game is strong, especially with friends. You know, I don't need that many in my life. You know, that's okay. I don't need that many. Yeah. So, but with a romantic person, that's harder for me because I'm giving them my, romantic person. I done did some stuff. I done gave you my body. You know, I gave you more than just, you know. So the romantic person is a little harder for me. I tend to hold on to people longer than I should. Period. But a romantic person, you know, I try to stay out of relationships for a long time, get myself together because I hold on tight to somebody that's, you know, I'm romantically about it. So all kind of different, you know. I can let a friend go. I can let a chick go. Just I ain't got time for your drama.
Right. Okay. Nothing but positive energy. I hear you on that. So I'm going to go into the comments. So we got, because friends know so much more and have deeper trust ties, losing a friend is hard. And then they say friends usually have deeper trust ties and they know more than a newer relationship. Losing a real friend is devastating. And Elle said it hits harder for real because you don't be expecting it. Whereas in romantic relationship, you can sense it coming to an end. And
Right.
Yes. I can agree with that. Okay. If you guys just now tuning in, welcome to Adult Talk. I'm your host, Mo Sexy to You, here every Wednesday at 10 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And I have my two amazing guests here, Miss Divine and Sowing Royalty. My next question is this true that Black fathers teach their daughters to not need a man as well as women do?
To not need a man?
Yes, you know how when we're raising our children, you got some families that teach their kids, like single mothers and single fathers. Okay, so the single mothers be like, you got to work, you got to do this, make sure you don't depend on the man because they ain't this and they ain't that. The question is, is that true about Black fathers teach their daughters to not need a man as well, like we do?
I can't agree to that. My parents were married for 55 years before my mom passed away. My dad was always in the home, and we leaned on the strength of my dad as a provider, and to honor him as that provider for our family. So, no, I can't say that. So the same thing with, even though I was a single parent, and raised my daughter, it was still that honor of my dad, and even her father, even though he lived in a totally different state, you honor him as your father. I would never speak bad about him, especially in her face, or she never heard me say anything bad about him at all. I may not have liked what he was doing, but that was the blood that ran through her veins. So to hate him was to hate her. And I can't look at her and say that I hate him. So I would always put that before her too. Like, no, you will always respect him. You will always honor him as your dad, regardless of what you think it should look like. This is the blood that runs through your veins. So I can't say that at all. I can't agree with that at all.
So what I'm saying, you say you don't agree. That's because you was raised in a 2-parent family. When you and for you, far as you, because the way you were raised, it taught you to raise your kids different, just like as well as me. Because when I raised my daughters, I didn't raise them to hate men either, and I've been a single parent since they've been born. So I understand, but I'm looking at it from the view of the people that's not like us. You know what I'm saying? Where you see outside in the world, what you see outside in the world and how they interact, especially with the new generations that's coming up now. So this
is what I can say too. Like, most of my siblings are single parents, both male and female. We're single parents, even though we lived in a 2-parent home. And I know, like, one of my younger sisters had 5 children. And I would always speak the same life into them. Like, it's up to us to live that example. I don't care where I came from. One of the things that's not really tied to this, but what I've always wanted to live as an example and tell people, if you see me do it, you can do it. There's no need to bash anybody about anything. If you see me do it, you get the strength and you press on too. You can always get there from here. Wherever that is, you want to obtain, you're not going to obtain that by hating on somebody else. Hate will never win. Girl, you about to get me started on some stuff.
That's the whole point, is to get the conversation going. You hear me?
Well, I don't think I don't think it's about hate when you raising your child. I'll say I was raised with a single mother. Really, my grandmother raised me, but I had 5 uncles. So I was taught to, but I seen my grandmother be married. I seen her in the marriage. I seen all my uncles with wives and took care of their wives. Whether they was working or not. So I was ready to take care of myself as a woman, and whatever my mother always said to me, whatever a man gives you is a bonus, but you work and pay your own bills. He give you something, and that thank you, that's a bonus. But I'm gonna work and I'm gonna take care of myself, and I'm gonna do that first. But on the same part, I still want to be a wife. I was married before, even though that's a whole nother show. Okay, but I still want to be married and be a wife and have a husband that I don't want to do this all the time. I don't want to be doing this by myself all the time,
Nobody does.
So it's kind of both. Like, I'm by myself, so I gotta do what I gotta do. You have to take care of yourself. Ain't nobody else gonna do it. But on another part,